Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm so happy to see you back. I hope you're having an amazing evening or morning, depending on when you're watching this video, and I hope you just have an awesome day. This episode, I just kind of want to talk about what it takes to have a setup like this. I feel like there's a misconception around YouTube studios and setups that it has to be a ton of money and it has to be a wide-angled shot and it has to be, you know, all this lighting, all these techniques, all these things. And all of that does add to the aesthetic of your image and can help when people watch your content. But in reality, and it's funny because I'm talking about this stuff and I don't know how many of you are actually interested in this, but the reality is the content that you're sharing matters the most. The second thing is everything else, right? Lighting, I would say, is next. Audio would be next after that. And then how good of a camera you have would be after that. If you haven't seen the last video I posted, it talks about 2023, all the options that we have, what dictates a good camera or doesn't, or is it more important to have a more expensive camera, or is it more important to have better skills? Kind of address some of those things very briefly in the last video I made. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. And this is a good segment to segue and say, hey, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed or you haven't hit that bell, go ahead and do those things if you enjoy this kind of content. But let's get into it. So my current studio setup is my FX3, which is what I'm filming on now. You guys are seeing me through the eyes of my FX3. This is a 24mm f1.4. This lens is not mine, it's one of my buddies, but the way I have my camera set up, and I'll show you in a second, this is the lens I own for my FX3. This is the Tamron 35 to 150 f2 to 2.8. There's no way this little clamp I'm using could hold that, so I currently use the 24-14 G Master. Honestly, if I didn't have this lens, I'd probably own the Sony 1.8. I've owned it in the past. It's a phenomenal lens. I just didn't do this sort of content back then, and it wasn't really needed, and it was just sitting around collecting dust, so I sold it. But if I didn't have the G Master money, I would absolutely go and get the 20mm G lens. It's really excellent. Sigma's got a 20mm as well. That would probably be fine. I just know the Sony's was excellent for what I used it for. I am recording audio internally via the XLR handle that is on my Sony, and that is running up to my MKE 600, boomed about really only 6 inches away from my mouth in this shot. And then I have a nice white little table here that is not so white anymore from a lot of the stuff I've put on it. I actually need to repaint it because it's been scuffed quite a bit. This table just kind of is a place for me to keep some of my videography equipment, as well as a place to do overhead shots, or when I have videos like this and I need stuff like my C70, you know, and I'm talking about my C70. Hey, look, it's my C70. I can use this table to kind of put that to the side and then grab the things I need for this video. And then for aesthetics wise, I got some fake plants, because what sort of YouTuber slash videographer would I be if I didn't incorporate fake plants into the shot? And then if I move slightly out of frame, still get close enough so you can hear the mic, I have this shelf in the back. It's one of those like 4 cubby each side shelves, so 8 in total. And I have a Amaran 200X over in this corner that is shooting against that wall. And then I have 2 Aperture MC lights, not the new ones, the old ones, and they're in the top 2 cubbies just to provide a little bit of ambiance. And then I have an LED strip going all the way around my room, so right now I have a little bit of a blue look to my room, and outside of this soft box I have a very nice soft blue light on the walls. Now, normally I would be filming with, hold on, this guy. If you don't know what this is the Moment Cine Bloom filter. I believe this is 10%. It is. This is it. So I like shooting these setups with this filter. I don't know if you can see what that's doing at 10% or on this 24mm, but this filter size does not work with this lens. Like I said, this is a friend's lens I'm borrowing. Shout out to my buddy Tito. So I don't have any step-up rings for it, so I can't use that. But I really do like this as part of my YouTube setup. The reason for that is it just kind of softens everything out, because I naturally soften the image out of my FX3 just a little bit in post, because I think it's very sharp and very clinical, and I really like that look for everything I need that for. But for talking head stuff, you know, it's wintertime, skincare routines, kind of, you know, going ham right now. I like a little bit of a softer look. So my key light in this setup is my Amaran 200X. It's above me. It's a bicolor light. It's absolutely phenomenal. I love this light. And that's it. I'm running 2 C-stands, a boom pole for my mic. It's basically all the accessories I'm using. Obviously the XLR cable. No, there's nothing else in this shot. I'm just using the lighting from the LED strips and those 2 Amaran MC lights to separate me from the background. So, asking the question, Noah, how much did all of this cost? So after doing some quick math and evaluating this total setup, after I include the price of lights, C-stands, audio, everything you see around me right here, the total cost of this setup is $7,300. Now, the biggest part of that is my camera and my lens. So if you subtract the $6,000 that setup costs and you add the $2,100 of an FX3, yes, you can get them secondhand for a little bit less, but just apples to apples, brand new. $2,100 for an FX3, and then the Viltrox 13mm, which is what I would use in lieu of a Sony lens or a full frame lens on that camera, is about $400. So you're looking at about $3,800 all in for a pretty complete studio setup. Obviously the table and the shelf I'm not including in the price. You might have a different way you want to do this, but because of the way I have my camera mounted, you could really set this up anywhere at your home, on your bar top, anywhere. Like I said, it's so versatile and it's so easy. I just come over, I press record, and we get going. So let me know what your setup is at home. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, send me a picture, whatever. I'd love to see what your setup is, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm just kind of doing some gear reviews right now, talking about the gear I have. As work comes up and as clients come through, I will post more about some BTS stuff, how I shoot some of the things I shoot, and yeah, this channel will just kind of be a smorgasbord of what I do as a videographer and the gear I have and how I find ways to effectively use that equipment and tips and tricks I learn along the way that I can share with you guys and the viewers that are on my other platforms. So appreciate you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Like I said, remember, subscribe, hit the bell, and drop down below your current setup at your house, what your camera rig is, and how you're using it. If you follow me on Instagram, just DM me a picture, show me what it looks like, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.